make a short address of about 15 minutes, and then we will have a Q&A for those who wish to answer or ask questions. I'm sorry that those of you who are remote will have to listen to other people's questions and can't ask them yourselves. Yesterday, when the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia unanimously voted to promote us to being a state university effective on July the 1st of this year, I shared that news with you via email, and I promised that there would be some more comments today. That is why we're meeting now. I would like to begin by thanking the Board of Regents and the university system for the support and the confidence that they have in us and throughout this process of change. Our immediate task now is to prepare for that July the 1st launch and a new academic year, as we will then become Georgia's newest university and commence a new era of higher education here in the region as Middle Georgia State University. As we prepare for that launch, I am pleased to share that this milestone on our journey, over 130 years in the making, has provided service to the people of Middle Georgia, has experienced consolidation, and is now moving on to state university level, and this holds tremendous promise for us, our institution, the region, and the state. It is a momentous occasion, and it's one in which our institution holds promise not only for our current students, faculty, and staff, but for thousands more who will enter, progress, and graduate from Middle Georgia in the years to come and provide service for the communities across this region whose quality of life will benefit from our work because of the learning and the work of the young people in this room today who will go on and be ambassadors of Middle Georgia State University. It also holds great promise for the thousands who have attended and graduated from our predecessor institutions, whose accomplishments have contributed to this progress and reflect on our values and achievements. So I'd like to offer a few words in particular to the class of 2015, the final graduating class of Middle Georgia State College. To those students I say, you, your families, your professors, and the administrative staff here have helped shepherd you to this point in your life's trajectory. Your graduation in May, as our concluding college class, will be an historic moment, and I ask and encourage you to remain involved as alumni for the rest of your lives. In fact, please consider this your official invitation to join our first university homecoming in September 2015, of which details will come out later in the spring. Today, though, we stand at the culmination of all that has been since our birth in 1884 in Cochrane, and we stand at the threshold of what is to come in the future. The moment at which we find ourselves is one that will be viewed through the prism of history, one that will be indeed remembered in another 100 years. Technically, our change in status results from the approval of our first graduate program. As a result of yesterday's decision by the board, we will begin offering a Master of Science in Information Technology this fall 2015. It will be the first of many opportunities for professionals to obtain a graduate education at Middle Georgia State University. Now that our first master's degree will be in information technology is fitting, because IT was in fact the first bachelor's degree offered by Macon State College, one of the forerunners of our current institution. Also, a proposal for a Master of Science in Nursing is currently under review by the University System of Georgia. Designed to meet the acute care needs of the region in adult gerontology, we aim to begin that program also, if approved, in the fall of 2015. And graduates of that program will be eligible to seek certification to become a nurse practitioner. Additionally, we intend to propose 2 further graduate programs next year, one from the School of Business and one from the School of Education, to commence in the fall of 2016. And these proposals stem from a careful analysis of market needs here in Middle Georgia and the expertise and traditions of excellence that we have here at the institution. Now, while those graduate programs are absolutely critical, and I extend my congratulations to the School of Information Technology on its approval yesterday. So while those are essential, graduate programs alone do not make a university. What makes a university is thinking differently, doing more, holding ourselves accountable for deeper relationships, stronger performance, and better results. In other words, it's a comprehensive change. Our new university mission statement understands this. That was also approved yesterday by the Board of Regents. Previously, it had been approved internally by our Faculty Senate. I'm delighted that it was approved yesterday by the Board of Regents, and it reads as follows. Middle Georgia State University educates and graduates inspired lifelong learners whose scholarship and careers enhance the region through professional leadership, innovative partnerships, and community engagement. Now, I'm not going to go through each of those words, but they were selected carefully. And in the months ahead, they will shape how we understand our work and what we want to see when somebody graduates with a degree from the university. Well, now, what does that mean for the people of Middle Georgia? Aside from graduate programs, being a state university means several things, and I'd like to try and give a sense of that now. It means for our faculty and students better engagement in scholarship and research. We are here at this point because of our academic excellence, which now moves on to a higher level still. Building on strengths such as applied research in cybersecurity and in aviation, where we will expand new opportunities for scholarship and innovation. The heart of a university, indeed its brand, is built on its academic reputation. And I will be asking the deans and the chairs of our faculty to engage in a conversation on how now we can build that academic excellence. Secondly, it means obtaining more diverse sources of funding. As our foundation, our philanthropy foundation, prepares to begin a capital campaign, we will now need to seek new grant funding opportunities from more public and private sources. We will continue to develop partnerships that will help support the university, and we will need to find efficient, sustainable ways of doing business that will strengthen our financial position. It also means stronger community partnerships. We will reach out as a university in new ways to partner across the region in the public, private, and non-profit sectors, serving the common good while creating opportunities for our students to learn, to lead, and to have real-life experience in internships, service learning, and volunteerism. It means more professional focus and stronger governance, from higher standards and support for our employees through a new staff council, to service and leadership initiatives for students and faculty, all having a voice, understanding that as a community of scholars, we are all, students, faculty, and staff, responsible for shaping the learning and the voice of this university. It will mean more pathways to success and lifelong learning for our students, from internships for undergraduates to data-driven advising to post-bac opportunities in the classroom, outside the classroom, giving students an opportunity to understand the best from within the academy and how to apply it outside in the real world. And it means greater institutional identity, pride, ethos, and clarity. I hope we will all come to enjoy the new logo which we're unveiling today. That speaks powerfully to how we will appear to the world and something that we can take pride in as we explain to the world what a state university means. because it means that we will build on core values. We will want to engage in new ways with our alumni, including having them at our first homecoming this fall. And finally, have a new brand identity that gets behind some of the confusion of consolidation. We go forward as one institution, as a university with a new brand and identity. You can see it displayed behind me, and as of July the 1st, you will see it on all of our publications, physically, digitally. It will be the face that the world will see of Middle Georgia State University. Now, we have been working on these things for many years, and we have had some extraordinary success, which is why we have the confidence of the Board of Regents. But the task ahead is a real task. Today we celebrate, but tomorrow we work, because the task ahead is daunting and uplifting. There will be some tough days, and change is going to be happening in ways that we need to manage and not have manage us. Change is not without some pain, but it is also wonderfully empowering. It allows us, all of us, to be leaders, to fulfill a vision of transformation, to implement change that is for the better, and that we, as I say, will lead it and not be led by it. Now, in the coming months, our university status will continue to evolve, and we have other discussions with the Board of Regents that haven't yet taken place. We will need to talk with the Board of Regents about benchmarking our admissions and tuition standards in accordance with the new university sector that we are in. Those proposals will be reviewed by the Board of Regents shortly, but it is my commitment that we as a university will maintain strong dedication to the principles of access and affordability so that our students have maximum opportunity, whether they are new students or returning students. For instance, to ease the financial impact on undergraduate students, we will be asking the Board of Regents for permission for a multi-year phased increase over many years in tuition standards before we get to the state university sector. Graduate tuition rates, which will take effect in the fall for the Masters in IT, those are still under discussion and will be reviewed with the Board of Regents. So we are committed to the principle of affordability. But beyond affordability, our academic excellence and the relationship we have with our students and our faculty means that Middle Georgia State University needs to be committed also to its value proposition. Relationships require access for students to gain the education that we can offer, playing to our strengths. Student success and graduation will be the ties that bind us together, and the success of the programs that they learn in, building on our academic reputation. Let me be clear on this. When students come to Middle Georgia State University, one day we want them to graduate and leave. That's the principle that we have to hold to. Now, we look forward to building distinctive signature programs at each of our campuses, so that if you're watching this from Cochrane or from Eastman, the conversations that need to take place are what are the unique strengths of the different campuses across our 5 areas that we serve. We need to have those signature programs because that's the way that we will deliver on lifelong learning for students to come and earn credentials and be able to graduate with a degree. And that means we will also need to expand our online options for learning. So if we strengthen student success across all of our 5 campuses, we can ensure that whether a student is 18 years old or 58 years old, an age that I am much closer to myself, Middle Georgia State University will be a place of learning and opportunity and growth for all those ages and stages of life. Once Middle Georgia is a university, entering students pursuing bachelor's or master's degrees will need to meet the system's admission standards for a state university. For traditional freshmen, that will require SAT and higher SAT or ACT scores than we currently have. We are in conversations with the regents about how that will work. And so this will be an example of how between now and July, further work, further announcements, and further news will be taking place. Historically, the former institution provided access to thousands of college students whose tremendous potential may not have been reflected on standardized tests or who did not take the well-worn path to success in college. Yet they succeeded, and we will not abandon our tradition of opening doors to students who show promise. That is another commitment that we make today. Rather, for those traditional students who need to begin their journey with us in a certificate or associate's degree program, a new university college located on our Cochrane campus will provide intentional, focused academic support in a residential setting. Not only will students in our university college have access to targeted advising and tutoring and support, but they will be learning on a beautiful campus that is also home to our four-year athletics program, as of this fall, new Greek life, a newly constructed social space, and further renovations going on in wellness. Rooted in that setting, if they choose to go on to get a baccalaureate degree, they will have the underpinning strong relationships and experiences that will be the foundation of their success. So as a driver of student success, the quality of student experiences and engagement will continue to grow and needs to grow across our campuses. For example, the intercollegiate soccer teams, while continuing to reside on our Cochrane campus dorms, will also begin playing home games here in Macon. As a soccer fan, I'm delighted to know that. Fraternities and sororities, while housed on the Cochrane campus, will also be available for membership for students across the institution. And just this week, we began a new shuttle service between Eastman and Cochrane campuses. And I hope that we will be able to see that program grow and make decisions in the future about expanding it across our different campuses. We're also reaching out to students interested in dual enrollment at each of our campuses. And we are just at the point of expanding study abroad opportunities. I'm pleased to announce that next month I will be signing a memorandum agreement between Middle Georgia State University and the University of Northampton in Great Britain so that we can explore ways at which we can have exchanges of faculty and students between two English-speaking institutions. These are just some examples of how each of our campuses will be empowered, and that as a unified state university, we will develop new student-supportive ways of operating. In short, we will give the communities in which we are located reasons to partner, engage with us, whether by coming to watch the Middle Georgia Nights at our athletic programs, or allowing us to create pathways for the professional development of employees, whether supporting the Middle Georgia State Foundation or offering internships to students, or whether it's finding ways in which local employers want to hire our students. These are a myriad of new ways that we as a state university will partner and address the challenges that will empower all our communities that we are located in. Now, I need each and every one of you at Middle Georgia State University. I need you to partake in this wonderful new enterprise. Whether as a faculty member, a staff member, a student, an alum, or a friend in the broader community, I need you to bring your best to the table. We will continue to rely on your input and participation to fulfill the mission that I read to you earlier. It isn't just through internal processes like a strategic plan, but it's also by living out that mission in the relationships that you build. And the ways that we will elicit that are many. I want in the fall to be able to go and do some town hall meetings, but in the meantime, I hold for our faculty and staff, please come to the office hours that I open, and please use the President's Greatness Dropbox to start sharing your ideas about how Middle Georgia State University should look in the coming months and years. Earlier this academic year, when I was officially inaugurated as your first permanent president, I spoke of a phrase, and the phrase was the idea of a university, was not my phrase. It originated with Cardinal John Henry Newman in the 19th century. He coined that phrase because he understood that an institution of higher learning that was worthy of the name university is both a place of intellectual growth, but also profound human relationships, where virtues of wisdom, compassion, and improvement prevail as much as utilitarian knowledge. Those virtues cannot be done alone. They require a plurality of voices. They're not a static idea or a single mold into which we must conform ourselves. That is not what a university is. A university is a place where there is a plurality of experiences and ideas, where we benefit from the diversity of people's backgrounds, life experiences, and future hopes. And we need to participate because by bringing those diverging views and hopes together, we can create a stronger environment, and we can do so, even if not always in agreement, we can at least do it agreeably. As Aristotle once put it, it is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. I am pleased that this new university logo and brand, which was developed with the input of current students, prospective students in the region, and our faculty and staff, and I thank all that were involved in developing that. I'm pleased that this new university logo maintains an image of the torch of learning. Not only does it build on our current identity, but it calls to mind the words actually of Aristotle's professor, Plato, who said, "Those having torches will pass them on to others." All of us in this room, on our 5 campuses and online today, all of us have Middle Georgia's torch. We are holding it. As we move forward together, I ask each of us to do what we can to make it burn brighter than before. Thank you for all that you have done, that you do now, and that you will continue to do as we fulfill our mission and our promise and our calling, shortly as a member of Middle Georgia State University. Thank you. I said at the beginning, we do have a few moments for questions and answers, and we do have some mics. Would anyone like to ask a question at this point? Or make a comment? In that case, hearing none, thank you. Oh, we do. We do have one?
You spoke for a moment about having Cochrane as a sort of an access campus.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean there will be 2 separate admissions process, or will there be one admissions process and some students will go to Macon or one of the other campuses and some will go to Cochrane?
We're still in the process of discussing that with the University System of Georgia. We're meeting next week, we hope, to discuss this. What we want to do is to make sure that at the moment, we are an institution that has enabled students to succeed, and we start with the premise that there are some students that may not be able to get straight in under the current sector standards into a bachelor's program. Well, we want to provide as a state university a way in which they can begin their career with us and then succeed and transition on. That's the basic concept, and once we have had clarity with the system on what we can and cannot do, we will make sure that we explain that we make sure that our recruitment and admissions teams know about that. It's a work in progress, but you are absolutely right in your basic understanding that what we want to do is to be able to capture those students that might not succeed or be admitted into a baccalaureate program, but to have a targeted, resourced location at Cochrane where classes can be offered and where they can be admitted to succeed. It's that principle that we're still working on. Great question. Thank you. Yes, sir. No, you just walked by him.
You mentioned that our becoming a university was a process that took several years, and it was as a result of more than just a graduate program.
Right.
What were some of the more specific, larger obstacles that we as an institution had to overcome to make this status?
That's a great question too. First of all, we needed to show that we were successful at consolidation. And I'm very proud of everyone in this room that made consolidation work. It was a success. It wasn't easy, but it was that we could become one unified institution. And when consolidation took place, the Board of Regents said, essentially, if you can get your act together and show a plan that will be workable, we're ready to consider in some point you becoming a university. So first of all, consolidation succeeded. Secondly, we needed to have a broader sense of our vision. We needed to understand what is our identity in this region. We have that now. Thirdly, we needed to show that we were successful in moving into the baccalaureate programming and graduating at substantively good rates of bachelor's degree students. And we're improving in terms of it's an initiative known as Complete College Georgia. We're improving and benchmarking well in Complete College Georgia. It was those three pieces about our success as a single institution, our vision for the future, and metrics showing progress. That was the bedrock on which we began to develop the plan and take to the board, and they approved. Thank you. Great question. One more question? No? In which case, I said we will be out by 10. It's 2 minutes to 10. I wish you a good day and today. Please celebrate. Please share the good news that as of July, we will be studying, working, living alongside a new university. Thank you very much indeed.